Yeah, this young lady's called Stephanie, and she's a young lady that had PIP implants put in a couple of years ago by Harley Medical Group. But it seems as though PIP implants were made with an impure silicone, which means there are contaminants, which means that we don't quite know what they are and what they can cause over a period of anything up to about 10 years.
I thought it's definitely not what I've got because I went to the best, but then I found out that I had, and I was angry, really angry. These implants only cost £60 apparently, so I was more angry with what did they do with the rest of the money. Every time you try and ring them, like it was the same after the surgery, like the phone just rings and rings and rings and nobody answers. But then they had like an answer phone message saying to ring this other number, which was a helpline, and then they like leave your details and they get back to you, but nobody did.
She's come in to us really concerned about the implants and whether or not to exchange them urgently or sort of semi-urgently.
As soon as I found out that they were PIP, I wanted to get them changed.
I think it's fair to say these implants have a mixed history. Sometimes they're rupturing very early, sometimes they're rupturing late. The advice at the moment is, in the cool light of day, to take these implants out, exchange them for the implants which you think will probably give her a better result. Sometimes it can take up to double the amount of time for than a simple augmentation. Double the time because you've not only got to take the implant out with care, you've got to consider what to do with the capsule, which is the bit that the implant causes the body to make. And if that implant's got contaminated with the contents of that implant, then really that's got to be taken out if possible.
It's a possibility that one may be leaking because my lymph nodes are swollen, so you know it was better to get them out sooner rather than later.
So is it coming out? The good news is this implant hasn't ruptured. Right, so we're looking at an implant that's probably intact, but it had that horrible wet juice around it. It's sticky, slimy. It looks like you could run an engine with it. Now, in Stephanie's case, the implant was intact. The shell was rather thin, but it was really heavily stuck down onto the back of her muscle. There's a current vogue for surgeons to put these implants behind the muscle. It actually makes it incredibly difficult to totally strip the capsule without putting considerable risk to her. So what I've done is I've left the upper part of the capsule, which is stuck on the muscle, and inserted a new polyurethane implant which has the best record regarding complications post-operatively. And this implant is a much better quality than the one she just had taken out.
Everybody I know has joined this thing. It's like a support forum, and I think loads of people, it helps to have other people going through the same thing. But I know that I'm a lot more fortunate than a lot of other girls, and so I just got to think about that. I can't feel sorry for myself.
I put some anaesthetic on the implant, so she won't be in much pain. There'll be a bit of discomfort, but you know, the implant was in and around her muscle, so that always causes a bit more pain than if we go in front of the muscle. If we can get control of the pain, she'll be moving very quickly. First 2 weeks in a bra, not really doing very much. The next 2 weeks doing more, but not yet in the gym. Probably 6 to 8 weeks before she gets into high impacts of aerobics and things.
Anyone that says that they're going to sue them or go for a legal battle by themselves with the big corporations, it's pointless. So I think it is good that there's all these girls come together on Facebook and everything, and you know they're doing their marches up at Harley Street and everything.
She'll be seen on a weekly basis to be sure she hasn't got a hematoma or infection, and then usually I see the girls around about the 3-month mark just to make sure everything's settling down well. And the vast majority, in fact, it's very rarely we get into a situation we have to consider doing anything else.
I think there will be some sort of compensation for everybody, but I think it will take a long, long time. So I will keep involved in it, but at the moment the priority is my health and the other girls' health as well, so we'll see what happens. It's not about the money at all, it's purely about health and the fact that, you know, I need new ones. That's the main thing on the agenda. It's not about money, because money's just money, isn't it? You can't put a price on your health.